Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faith Blacklights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Lesser Evil, it is the fiery hot popcorn. And this is Homer. Homer is the compass on the hero's journey, I guess. Okay. All right. Yep. Anyway, so I was looking through this. I came across this randomly in a store the other day, and I started looking through the back. I'm like, okay, fiery hot. I vaguely remember doing a different product from Lesser Evil. It called itself something similar. And anyway, so I get to the bottom of this, and here we go. Habanero pepper at the very, very, very end. So I'm like, okay, well, I have done other popcorns. I like popcorn. I'm willing to take a stab. I'm willing to take a stab. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. We see there are some bits on here. It looks like this is mostly butter flavored though. Let's do this. Why don't we? This is gonna be a pain to do it like this. So let's grab a bowl and let's put the bowl here and let's pour into this bowl. Let's get the white point though, so we can have that. And that way we'll have plenty here to get on the table and to go for our little burn, which we're going to be doing for sure, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so you can see I overfilled this bowl. Doesn't that look pretty? There's a close-up. You can see it definitely looks more like butter. Our little flecks on there, though, you can see right there. Whoops. Which is maybe the habanero, maybe the jalapeno, not sure. And let's just take a stab at it, shall we? Flavor is really interesting. Slightly sweet. A little bit of garlic maybe going on in there. Yeah, there's garlic. Not getting a lot of pepper. I mean, a little bit, but it's not very forward. Every once in a while, I debate doing a popcorn list. But for quite a while, I had exhausted pretty much every one of the microwave popcorns. And some of the ones like this where they're pop dusted and packaged. So, I don't like to do playlists unless I'm sure there's going to be at least 10 videos. I think the popcorn one was in the area, but I don't think it was actually quite 10. Now, of course, I broke a couple teeth, plagued by that for a little while. So I couldn't really eat crunchy stuff, or popcorn was its own problem. So I kind of dropped the idea for a while. I'm not sure I like this popcorn. It's not bad. It's just kind of this weird sort of muted, slightly garlicky, very vaguely peppery, very lightly sweet. It's just this weird sort of almost nondescript flavor that sort of touches on the other things, but overall is just kind of odd. Anyway, I decided not to do the popcorn. Now, I have found a few other ones over time, here and there. But it's been quite a while since I did a video of the previous popcorn to this. So I don't know, maybe I will at some point, but not anytime soon. This reminded me a little bit of, I used to have a roommate that didn't like the flavor of just straight popcorn. So he'd always kind of play around with it, throw Parmesan in there. Maybe some other stuff. Just remind me, kind of, what he used to do to tinker with it. It's a fairly dry sort of popcorn also. It's not greasy like some popcorns tend to be. This is all air popped apparently. We got a coconut oil. It's very much its own flavor. I will give it that. What it is not is hot. Honestly, not even really slightly. I don't remember if the other thing I had from them was hot or not. Usually they're, putting stuff like descriptors like fiery. Fiery hot or scorching hot or screaming hot or, our favorite flaming hot. None of those really, I mean, they're all meaningless. This one is not, by any stretch, hot. Fiery or otherwise. And I feel like I've had enough that I'd be able to get a burn by this point if there was a burn to be gotten. Yeah, there is. Okay, so I thought that was in there. There is a bit of astringency to it. There is vinegar in here as well. There was a tanginess that I kept picking up. I mean, I definitely had better, but I've sure had worse. It is stuff like this, though, a big reason why this series exists. And, you know, there's people in the stores looking at this going, fiery hot popcorn. How hot is it? Is it hot? And I wanted to be able to get on here and answer a lot of those questions. And, you know, get some exposure for some of the other stuff out there people might not be aware of. That's still a significant part of what I do. But, you know, along the way, I thought, hey, what if we broaden it? What if we try to encompass more of the spectrum of being a chili head? You know, and that's where I started doing some of the challenge products here and there. But always with the mindset. Always at the forefront. My approach is as a foodie first. Although I do consider them both to be very close to equal measure. But honestly, I have no interest in heat for the sake of heat. To me, it's like that's stunty stuff. And I don't really care about that. What do I want? Is I want some flavor. I want to increase the enjoyment of what I'm using that on. And if that isn't in the cards, then I have very, very little interest in it. All that aside, what do we think about you? I do like that this popcorn is not very greasy. That is actually very nice. So texture-wise, in terms of just the popcorn itself, very, very nice. No real greasiness to speak of. When I wiped this off, I got a little bit of dusting from the powders, but nothing, there's no grease stuff. So that was super cool to see. As far as the flavor, it's not a flavor I want to, I'll finish the bag. I don't want to have it again though. I don't think it's bad. I mean, garlicky, vinegary, very slightly sweet, very slightly peppery. It's not really what I want from a popcorn or a snack, actually. It's just okay-ish, I guess. Heat-wise, that's the biggest disappointment. Is, you know, I've probably eaten maybe a little bit more than a third of the bag, and I don't have... There's no heat to be had here. And part of my frustration, it was frustrating for a long time. Now it's just disappointing. It's what I expect, so now it's more disappointing than anything else. But saying stuff like fiery hot and then not delivering on heat at all. I mean, I suppose they can't call it sugary, vinegary garlic. Fiery hot is it's not accurate to either of those two words without a whole bunch of exaggeration, or if you're just you can't handle spice at all, I suppose maybe then. But fiery hot is not really a flavor descriptor. You know, that's not a... You can't go order an ice cream sundae and say, what kind of toppings do you want? I want fiery on it. Or I want hot on it. It's meaningless. So, I don't know. Slightly sweet, peppery garlic. That's really what the flavor here is. But I do like their approach. I think Lesser Evil has kind of a cool approach to stuff. So I do back that, but this product is not a hit for me, and ultimately, and I think we're just gonna leave it right there. So that was the Lesser Evil Fiery Hot Popcorn. Number 4. In peace, to serve the flame.